Hi there, I'm Miss Faith, and this is the second of our 3 cooking activities this week that we're doing through the Arts and Science Center's CrEATe Lab program. As you know, this is a science class as well as a cooking class, so today's science question is, why do uncooked ingredients, these would be uncooked ingredients, taste different once they've been cooked? What is it that happens in the cooking process? Today's ingredients are, got some blueberries and some cinnamon and an apple and some, this is cinnamon toast for some bread, and a little bit of butter. The tools that you need are a heat source. You're going to need a wooden spoon or a stirring spoon that's heat proof that you can stir things with in the skillet. You're also going to need a baking tray or a broiler tray because the bread is going to go into the broiler to toast. And today we're going to use heat, so I think you can see my skillet here, and it's at the moment I've turned it on to warm it up, so this is something to be very careful with. What you don't want to do is lean your arm on that. That would be very, very painful. So if you're going to do this at home, you should have an adult helping you with this because we've got some heat involved and also probably a knife at some point. The first thing we're going to do is put a little bit of butter into the skillet. So butter, I want to remind you this, that butter comes in paper, and the paper has the measurements on it. So if you have looked at the recipe and it says 2 tablespoons of butter, you can figure that out by looking at the paper and then putting it very carefully into the skillet where it's going to melt. All right? And the rest of the butter we're going to put in the microwave to warm that up. So the butter is melting, and sometimes what I'll do is take my spoon and move it around so that I've got butter in a number of different places. Alright, so that's melting. And in the meantime, I'm going to wash my blueberries and my apple, right? Because whenever you're using ingredients like this, they need to be washed. And when the butter melts, I'm actually going to sprinkle this cinnamon. So this is, where's my recipe here? This is a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and that's going in there to flavor the blueberries. And then I'm going to put the blueberries on top. And maybe you can hear it sizzling. That's the butter. And I'm going to stir it up. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit now so that it doesn't get out of control while I'm working on the apple. Alright, so we're just letting that cook right now. So there we're applying heat to the food and we're changing its texture and its taste by doing that. The second thing I'm going to do, well, this is a multitasking. There's a lot of things you're doing at once here, so you do have to pay attention. I'm going to take my bread. If you have cinnamon bread, it's really delicious. Some people like cinnamon raisin, and maybe you don't have that, and you could use any bread, sliced bread that you have in your cupboard there or in your refrigerator. So you're going to put it onto a sheet, a cookie sheet, or a broiler pan. I put foil down so there's a little less cleanup involved. And I'm going to put this in my broiler, and then I'm going to set my timer so that I don't forget about it and burn it. All right. All right, there we go. So now they're going to be crunchy on the bottom, and I'm going to turn them over. I'm just going to sit this in the back here while I wait for it. In the meantime, I'm going to start to cut up my apple because I think it's kind of fun to combine the apples and the blueberries because the blueberries are soft and the apple is crunchy. So I'm going to put that in with the blueberries. So what I've done is I've cut my apple in half, and now I have a flat. So you can see. I have a flat surface that I can cut with, and I can use my claw to keep my fingers out of the way. And then I'm going to make 3 small pieces that are closer to looking like the size of the blueberries because it's a little bit easier to eat that way. So the fruit can be as cooked or as not as you like. Maybe you like apples to be very soft. In that case, you're going to have to leave them in there longer because they're crunchy right now. But maybe you like crunchy apples, and so you're good with that. All right, so, and the blueberries get very soft very quickly. Another way to do this is, if you want very soft apples, put them in first and let them go for 5 minutes and then add the blueberries. So think about this. A lot of cooking is just common sense. What am I doing with the heat? And what's going to happen to the food when I put heat on it? So for me, that's enough. I'm going to turn off the heat. That's a very important thing, is to pay attention to turning off the heat. And I'm going to bring over, actually I think we've got a little bit of butter left. So I'm going to put that in the microwave for a second so that we can brush it on the bread. Probably needs 10 seconds or so. All right, so here's my toast. I turned the toasted side down, and on the softer side, I'm going to put this butter. I'm going to brush some butter on. You can, I have a brush, but you can spread it if you have a knife. It doesn't matter. So now I'm going to put my, it's like a jam. I think of it as like a jam. So can you see what it looks like? Whoops, I spilled it a little bit. So it's going to go on top of the toast. So you're creating something that's sweet. Why did the cooking change it? Because when you add heat, it evaporates the moisture or water that's in the fruit and concentrates the sugars. You pile it on there, and we're going to put it back in the broiler for just a minute to get it nice and crunchy. I'm going to start to clean up and put things away in the 30 seconds that I have, so that I am ready to taste when it comes out of the oven. So can you see that the toast is getting a little toastier? Right. Now, if you have any cheese left over from our lesson from the other day, you could also put a little cheese on top of this. Another tool you're going to want to have is a pot holder, because your pan is hot now. It's going to go onto our plate. And if you have some lemon water to go with that, it makes a beautiful snack. The Arts and Science Center is going to present the CrEATe Lab program live in July and September, and that's a time when you'll be able to join us in person to do all of this together. Thanks for joining, and see you next time.